Mia's $400,000 Lamborghini suddenly broke down, and she never expected her old classmate to come to the rescue. Watch this incredible story unfold, and don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. Mia Thompson was feeling unstoppable as she glided down Sunset Boulevard in her brand-new Lamborghini Aventador. The sun reflected off the sleek red paint, and the roar of the engine made her heart race with excitement. Life in Los Angeles had been good to her. Her career in fashion design was booming, and she had finally treated herself to the luxury car she had always dreamed of. But as she turned a corner near Beverly Hills, a strange grinding sound erupted from the engine, followed by a sudden jerk that threw her slightly forward. Panic surged through her chest. She tried to stay calm, gripping the steering wheel tightly. The smell of smoke began to fill the cabin, and small wisps of gray began curling from under the hood. Her mind raced as she thought of all the money she had invested in this car, $400,000 of pure perfection, now suddenly trembling in front of her. She dialed her usual mechanic's number, but the line went straight to voicemail. 2 weeks, the recorded voice said. 2 weeks? She couldn't wait that long. Her prized Lamborghini was now stranded, and she felt a helpless frustration wash over her. Looking around, she spotted a small, somewhat unassuming auto shop tucked between a coffee cafe and a boutique. With no other options, Mia carefully pushed the car into the parking lot, parking it in front of the garage doors. She stepped out, running a hand through her hair, trying to calm herself. As she approached the entrance, she froze. Behind the counter was a familiar face she hadn't seen in years. It was Jake Carter, her high school classmate, the quiet genius who had once built a motorized skateboard in physics class and fixed everything for free. Seeing him here in grease-stained overalls made her heart skip. "Mia Thompson?" Jake asked, looking up with wide eyes and a grin. "I can't believe it's you." She blinked, taking in the sight of him. He hadn't changed much, still sharp, still confident, but now there was an air of skill and experience that came from years of working with cars. I didn't know you worked on luxury cars," she admitted, feeling a mix of shock and hope. Jake chuckled, brushing off a hand. "I didn't until recently. But hey, I can take a look at your Lamborghini if you want. I think I can handle it." Mia hesitated, her mind racing. Could she really trust someone with a $400,000 car, even if he had been brilliant in school? But desperation outweighed caution, and she nodded, her heart still hammering. "All right, let's do it," she said. Jake led her to the garage, rolling up his sleeves as he circled the car, inspecting every detail with precision. Mia couldn't help but remember the awkward teenager who had once tinkered with radios and bicycles, now transformed into a confident, talented mechanic, ready to face the impossible. For the first time since the breakdown, a small spark of hope ignited. Mia stood by nervously as Jake opened the Lamborghini's hood. The engine gleamed under the garage lights, complex and intimidating. Jake crouched down, examining every wire, every bolt, moving with confident precision. She watched him work, marveling at how effortlessly he seemed to understand the car's inner mechanics. Minutes turned into hours, and the garage filled with the low hum of tools and the occasional clank of metal. Mia tried to distract herself by checking her phone, but every time she looked up, Jake was completely focused, his brow furrowed in concentration. It was hard not to be impressed by his skill. The smell of engine oil mixed with the faint aroma of coffee from the shop next door, creating an oddly comforting atmosphere. Jake muttered to himself occasionally, explaining technical terms she barely understood. "It's a turbo misalignment. Minor engine recalibration. Almost done," he said without looking up. Mia could see the care in his movements. He wasn't just fixing a car. He was giving it the attention it deserved. She realized that Jake hadn't just grown up. He had become a master of his craft. The quiet boy she remembered had transformed into someone extraordinary, someone who could handle challenges that intimidated even the most experienced professionals. Finally, Jake wiped his hands on a rag and stood up, his face breaking into a triumphant smile. "All done," he announced. "Your Lamborghini's ready to go." Mia's eyes widened. "Just like that? You fixed it?" she asked, incredulous. Jake shrugged modestly. Years of practice. And a little stubbornness, he said with a grin. He handed her the keys, and Mia felt a rush of relief and amazement. She slid into the driver's seat, turned the ignition, and the engine purred perfectly, smoother and more powerful than before. It was like magic. Mia handed him the payment, but Jake shook his head. "No need," he said. "Consider it a favor. For old time's sake," she insisted, but he only smiled, waving her off. There was a sincerity in his eyes, a reminder of the boy who had always helped others without expecting anything in return. Driving out of the garage, Mia felt a mixture of gratitude and admiration. She realized that sometimes people surprise you in ways you could never imagine. Someone from your past can suddenly become the hero you never knew you needed. As she sped down Sunset Boulevard, the sun setting behind the Hollywood Hills, Mia couldn't stop smiling. Her Lamborghini roared like a beast, but the real thrill wasn't the speed. It was the story behind it. The quiet genius from high school had not only saved her car, but had reminded her of the value of skill, passion, and trust. Jake had turned a terrifying breakdown into a story she would tell for years. In the heart of Los Angeles, amidst luxury and chaos, she had rediscovered an old friendship and a new kind of wonder.